Hi everybody. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes and talk to you about classic theater, specifically Roman theater, and even more specific than that, a Roman critic named Horace. His real name was Quintus Horatius Flaccus. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He was a Roman critic, and he started out as a poet, which kind of did give him artistic license to critique theater, because back then theater was very poetic and had a lot of poetic aspects to it. So he kind of did have that background. What Horace is most known for are his rules of drama. And these were things that he thought that all the playwrights should follow, that they should have outlines for their plays, and this is what should happen. His first rule was that comedy and tragedy should not be combined under any circumstances. He decided those were different entities and it would not work out if they were put together. His second rule was that a good play should have 5 acts, so that's plenty of time for the plot to unwind and do what it needs to do. His third rule was that there needed to be 3 speaking characters at one time. No more than that, because it would just get too confusing for the audience and they wouldn't understand what was going on. And lastly, back then, a lot of playwrights would write in their gods, their deities, into the plays, and they would come and they would solve the problem and it would miraculously figure itself out. He decided that that was a little absurd and that the gods should only intervene when it was absolutely necessary. Along with these rules, he decided that plays should forward the action, they should have a moral tone, and that they should give good and upstanding counsel to those who are watching the play, so that they come away with something that is beneficial to them. Also, in addition to his rules, he had something called decorum. I'm sure that's a word that most of you have heard of before. What he meant by that was that the language, the action, and the attire of the people in the play should mirror their age, their gender, their race, their social status, and their emotions. And most of all, nothing should be offensive. So if you were to come on stage wearing some of the crazy things that kids nowadays wear, that would not fit under his criteria for decorum. Unfortunately for Horace, most Roman playwrights didn't follow a lot of his rules, so they are known as the rules of Roman theater, but they weren't necessarily followed. Well, thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something.